is Fields Auto Group Cubs Pregame Live.
That takes it right to the bag. They get one, they get two, they get three.
Oh, my.
If there's ever been a tailor-made triple play, that was it.
Wow.
That's the way things have gone lately for the Cubs. They'll try to get things back on track tonight. They kick off a 10-game homestand against the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch comes your way just after top of the hour right here on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Hello and welcome to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Along with Todd Hollinsworth, I'm David Kaplan. Holly, Cubs struggle on the road. They go 1-5. It doesn't get any easier. You got a Reds team that does not want to fall behind the Cubs in the standings, and they've won 19 of the last 22 meetings at Wrigley, dating back all the way to August of 2012.
Yeah, 8 of the last 9. Yeah, they've owned the Cubs at Wrigley Field as well. So, right, you got to make your own breaks. That's really what it comes down to. I know that's where we talk about leadership. That's where we think, hey, where's Anthony Rizzo? Where's Starlin Castro? We got to get some guys back out there on the offensive side of things. Yeah, maybe some things in the bullpen to concern ourselves with that happened during this losing streak and through this last road trip. But to me, you get Anthony Rizzo back. Yeah, maybe you hold on to some hope that maybe, just maybe, you get Starlin back in that last week. It's probably not going to happen, but maybe you hold on to it and you get some leadership out there. Leadership helps this. Right now, you don't have a whole lot. Young guys out there trying to battle, trying to compete, but you see how these games are breaking down, and you see the mistakes that happen in these games, and they're leading to losses.
All right, good news. Anthony Rizzo is back. First baseman had been sidelined since August the 26th with back issues. There had been talk he'd be done for the season, but he is starting at first base and back in his customary 3 spot tonight.
Well, I'm excited, Cap. I think I just teased it for about 30 seconds, and here we go. Great news to see Anthony back out on the field. This is important for a lot of reasons. It's important for Anthony. It's important for this team. It's important for this group to get him back out there. He leads not only in the clubhouse with his words, with his demeanor. He leads with his bat, and that's the exciting part. That's between the lines, and it really is good to have his presence back out there. I think it's going to help this team rally around each other just a little bit. Again, I'm not going to oversell it. I'm not going to overplay it, but nice to see him back out on the field with the young guys.
All right, we will have more on the other edition of the Cubs lineup later in the show, but let's go back. Check out some of the numbers from the road trip. Cubs just wrapped up. They scored 19 runs while allowing 46 in Toronto and Pittsburgh. They batted just .222. It struck out 70 times.
Well, I mean, it's a combination of things. You don't go to one direction or the other and say that's all to blame. You don't say it really was just a group effort, and a lot of bad things happened. You know, we failed to mention the number of errors that were made, the number of mental errors that were made on this road trip. You know, sometimes there was early offense in the middle innings. Our starters looked a little fatigued in the 5th and the 6th. You went to the back end of the bullpen. You didn't get the results that you wanted. I think I'd thrown a stat out last week where through that Toronto trip and into the Pittsburgh series, there was 24 runs scored over a 4-game stretch from the 6th inning on. I mean, these are things that just can't happen. You're not going to win ball games. You're not going to win battles. You're not going to win games this way. So hopefully they get themselves home. They've played very well at Wrigley all season long. Only 1 game under 500. And again, it should help these guys feel better about how the game is playing itself out. Again, early offense, good starting pitching, and then you get to the key, our 3-headed monster down there at the end of the bullpen. It has been a formula for success. We just haven't been able to get there.
All right, first time the Cubs had hit into a triple play since May 14th of 2000. Way back. And I believe that's when Don Baylor was in his first year as Cubs manager. Have you ever hit into a triple play?
No.
Or have you ever been part of a triple play?
Odds are I've probably been part of one. I don't remember it if I was. I'm sure 12 years, a lot of ball games. There's got to be one in there somewhere. You know what? This is just bad timing. Caesar, hot shot, third base. Harrison went right to the bag. I mean, what do? I mean, you got a fast run. You got a burner out of the box, too. So it's one of those plays that happens. It was good contact. You just chalk it up to what happens in the game of baseball sometimes. And, that's a ball down the line. You think back to earlier in the game when Caesar hit his first home run, had his first double, first extra base hit. They were down the left field line, both of them. And it's kind of interesting how this played out with him hitting a rocket shot down the third base line. The ball takes him to the bag, and the triple play happens.
Yeah, that was – we couldn't have put it in a better spot
Oh,
for
my gosh.
Pittsburgh.
No shot. No shot. Nothing you can do about it. You don't
Didn't
even
matter who was running.
That's right. It's just kind of one of those things that you look at and you say, all right, listen, they turned to triple play. It's a play that you see, but you can't do anything about it.
How much of a momentum killer is it in the dugout, or do you just go, whatever, boys, we'll get him next inning?
No, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not. You put a couple guys out there. That's one of those things that happen. You hit the ball hard. As a team, as an offense, you look at that and say, he did all he could do right there. This isn't a bad at-bat, swung at a bad pitch. Things aren't going our way right now. You know, I say, listen, in a game of baseball, they'll tell you, any good team will tell you make your own breaks. They had a 3-0 lead. They gave it back in another way. That lead was still intact after that triple play.
All right, after that triple play, Cubs starter Jacob Turner fell apart. He lasted just 4 1/3, charged with 7 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks. It was not a good day.
No, falling behind hitters. Look at these pitches out over the plate. We've seen the good. What's the good doing? It's usually moving at the plate. It's tilting one way or the other. His ball has good run, a little bit of sink, but good run to it. Look how flat these pitches are, man. They were all over him. Rockets all over the place. And then what ends up happening is it gets compounded. He got scared of the strike zone, so he started working off the corners and ended up walking a few guys. So, yeah, it just turned into a snowball effect. Young pitcher falls victim to it, and it happened yesterday.
All right, Eric Jokic came on in relief for his second appearance of the season. He went 2 2/3, was not charged with any runs, though he did allow runners left on by Turner on the bases to score. What have you seen from the Northwestern alum Eric Jokic in his pair of outings?
No, I mean, he's throwing strikes right now. I need to see a little bit more as far as building off of that. Good secondary stuff. I thought that he did a nice job keeping the ball down at the bottom of the strike zone, keeping the ball on the ground. There wasn't a whole lot of hard action against him. What was, plays were made. So far, so good. But again, the real test, it's always going to be, you know, the second time you see a team, the second time you get through a lineup. There was a little bit of that yesterday, so that's a good sign there, and the stuff still played. But again, you're really not going to develop who this is going to be. How long is he going to be here? How much of a career can he build until you start to see him hang out at the major league level for a little while?
All right, let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. Travis Wood will get the start. Tell us about this matchup, because Travis has had a very rough year, and there is speculation that maybe he gets traded this offseason.
Yeah, it's a real possibility. It certainly is a different story to tell this year than 2013. The one thing that you notice that really stands out, the whip. Last year, 115, outstanding. This year, 151, flip the 5 and flip the 1. My goodness gracious, yeah, that's a runner and a half every inning that's on base. So it kind of tells you what he's been dealing with. When he's pounded the strike zone, he's been hit hard. When he's worked off the plate, he's walked hitters. 71 walks this year in 162 innings. So things have been complicated for Travis. I think you give a little credit to the hitters and game planning against him at the same time. You know, the ability to make adjustments. It's imperative at the major league level that you make adjustments when you go up against teams to start to get your number. Hitters do it. The pitchers have to do it themselves. Guy gets a number. What are you going to do different? And that really has been the problem for Travis, is how else can he game plan? I think there was about halfway through the season, I was hoping that maybe you saw a little bit of the development of the changeup. But again, he's had success against the Reds this year. 2.38 ERA in his starts against the Reds, so he's had good results. And to me, it's the fact that they haven't hit for a whole lot of power this year. That cutter is a big pitch, especially with the right-handed sluggers that they've gotten. Mesoraco and Frazier being their best hitters this year. I'd like to see a lot of that cutter tonight and him being aggressive with that fastball on the inside part of the plate.
When Travis first came over to the Cubs, he did not make the ball club right out of spring training. Had an awful run in Arizona. Then they brought him up, and he pitched much better. What are you seeing differently in terms of approach?
Well, he just falls behind hitters, and I think what ends up happening is he goes through those moments of aggressiveness. You know his stuff. I mean, he leads with the fastball. He throws the four-seam fastball, and he throws his cutter, and he throws it an awful lot. He has to set up those secondary pitches. Occasionally, you see him throw the big, slow curveball to get it over, but he's had a hard time changing the game plan against him, which in a lot of ways has been be aggressive against him if he's throwing fastball strikes early in the count. And you'll see sometimes guys come out of the gate, much like happened his last start, swinging that bat early, getting after him, putting the barrel on the ball. He doesn't overpower you, so he's got to live on the corners. When he's been up, he's been in trouble. So when he started to struggle this year, it really has kind of become a story. He's kind of started working off the corners, and he started walking more hitters and got himself in trouble that way. So then it was kind of coming back around, okay, I need to be more aggressive again, and they're starting to hit me a little bit. He's got to find a way, CCAP, to change the game plan as opposed to just working on the corner, off the corner with the same stuff. That, to me, tells me start working that changeup in there. Throw a first-pitch changeup and see what kind of swing and miss you get. Keep it down at the bottom of the zone, but he's got to avoid predictable accounts, because when he gets into predictable normal counts, hitters are teeing him up right now.
All right, Simon has made himself right at home at the friendly confines in his career. He's pitched in 7 games. He started 2 of those in over 19 innings of work. He's allowed just 3 measly runs, giving him an ERA outstanding, 1.42. He's walked 5, struck out 14 in those games.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup tonight, Simon and Travis, because Travis has those good numbers against the Reds, and Simon's actually had a tough second half. He's only pitching to a 4.96 ERA. That really comes down to a 2-7 record, coming off a good start against the St. Louis Cardinals, and that's fine, but has not had the dominant stuff that he had in the first half when he was an all-star. So, again, Cubs, I personally would love to see him be aggressive against him. The one thing that I noticed over the season is that he is aggressive early and expands late. Certainly that's where you start to see those secondary pitches, the split finger, the curveball, even that cutter. He doesn't throw that a whole lot, but he likes to lead with the fastball to get to his other stuff. He's not going to throw it early to try to trick you, to try to fool you, or to get anything over. He's a power arm, power pitcher, throws 94 miles an hour, and you see the tilt that he has. So, again, it's late in the year for this guy, so we'll see what he's at early in the ball game. But if he's making mistakes, let's hope these young Cub hitters are ready to hit him.
All right, we have to take our first time out of Cubs pregame live, presented by our great partners, Fields Auto Group. When we return, take a look at the lineup for both squads for tonight's ball game. Be right back. And after missing the weekend series at Pittsburgh, Jorge Soler will be back on the field looking to build on a solid start to his major league career. And we're 23 minutes to first pitch. Here's your dinner plan. Pizza. PapaJohns.com as the Cubs hopefully beat up on the Reds.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
See Fields first.
Fields, they're like no other dealership I've ever been to.
They make you feel so comfortable, and they're there for you. They want you to be happy, and that's important. It matters.
It's what we do, including our amenities program, which is absolutely free and includes free car washes and loaners. Fields matters because you matter.
We regularly partake in the car washes, and the loaner program is very important to us as well.
For Fields Auto Group locations, go to FieldsAuto.com. Then see Fields first.
If I told you that a free 10-second test could mean less waiting for things like security backups and file downloads, you'd take that test, right? What are you waiting for? You could literally be done with the test by now. Now you could have done it twice. This is awkward.
Go to ComcastBusiness.com/check-your-speed. If we can't offer faster speeds or save you money, we'll give you $150. Comcast Business. Built for business.
If you had $1 for every dollar car insurance companies say they'll save you by switching, you'd have like a ton of dollars. But how are they saving you those dollars? A lot of companies might answer or no comment. Then there's Esurance. Born online, raised by technology, and majors in efficiency. So whatever they save, you save. Hassle, time, paperwork, hair tearing out, and yes, especially dollars. Esurance. Insurance for the modern world. Now backed by Allstate. Click or call.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Imagine the luxury of not being here. The power you want with the fuel economy you dream of. Performance with a conscience. This is Volvo, innovating for you.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long. With no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Time now for the ATI injury report. Starlin Castro still hoping to play again this season as he works his way back from an ankle injury. Pitcher Edwin Jackson still on the 15 ADL with a strained right lat. And outfielders Justin Ruggiano, Ryan Sweeney done for the season. Cubs Pregame Live is presented by the Fields Auto Group. Here's a look at Ricky Renteria's lineup for tonight's ball game. Chris Coughlin will lead off again, play left field. You got Javi Baez at short. Anthony Rizzo, good to see Anthony back in the lineup. Jorge Soler, Valbuena, Castillo, Alcantara, Watkins, and Travis Wood. First time Rizzo and Soler have been in the same lineup in the big leagues.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to see that Baez-Rizzo-Soler combination right there in the middle of the lineup. Really excited about that. How about Baez? Let's give him a little love here over the last week. I know the batting averages and the strikeouts is what really has been buzzing around town, but just so people know, 892 OPS over the last week. Those are good numbers, people. Yeah, that's an on-base percentage, slugging percentage combination. That's what OPS is, 892. And what does that tell you? Maybe, just maybe, that's who he is. Stop staring at the batting average, stop staring at the strikeouts, and focus on the OPS. A couple home runs to go along with it. So he's actually had a very, very good week, and he's making some adjustments up there, and it's good to see him swinging that bat.
Now let's talk a little bit about Javi, because he swings so violently. If he said to you, Holly, oh, you hit at the big league level for 12 years. Mm-hmm. Do I need to slow my swing down and not try and kill everything, or just do what got me to the big leagues? What would you tell him?
I have no issues with how hard he swings. I've watched many succeed for decades at the major league level with that kind of swing. I know we say it's violent. I'm okay with it. I mean, that's who he is. That's his personality. The only thing that stands out to me is when he pulls off the baseball. When I watch the head fly, when I watch the front side leak a little bit, he cuts himself off. The way that he situates himself over home plate, when he pulls off, he no longer covers the outside corner. It's that simple. The pitches that you see him miss a lot are balls that fool him. He's cheating to the pull side, and when he cheats to the pull side, he can't even hit strikes that are on the outside part of the plate. So my mind for him really is to just stay through the middle with his head. That's all it has to be. You can actually rotate around as long as that head stays on the baseball and you cover the plate the way that you're supposed to, you will get better results. He's a strong young man. He is going to get a lot of hits, and he's going to hit a lot of balls a long way. But as soon as he learns to stay and cover the plate, outside corner, inside corner, and be strong to both sides and stay through the middle just a little bit more with the head, he's going to get better results.
All right, Soler missed the weekend series to be with his family for the birth of his first child. He's batting .356 in 12 major league games. Cubs have been very careful with him with the hamstring, as they detected, I think, a weakness between the quad and the ham, and they do not want him to pull anything, obviously, going into the offseason. But he certainly looks like a very good hitter in terms of approach.
Oh, my. It's been impressive. You've seen the results to the off field, to the pull field. He's a strong man. The last home run he hit, my goodness, in Toronto. Wow. Rocket shot to right. So, yeah, he's a strong, strong kid. Let's just make sure he stays careful tonight, Cappy. It's cold outside. This kind of snuck up on a lot of us, the temperatures here in Chicago, and these guys are coming home. It's been warm just about everywhere else they've been playing, and he's been down south. Again, congratulations to him on the birth of his son. That being said, be careful out there. When this temperatures start to change, those hamstrings get a little tight quick. So, yeah, he's been great. Great to see him swing that bat offensively. He's already up to the number 4 spot in the lineup, and I think we're convinced we can pencil him in there pretty regularly.
All right, Arismendi Alcantara batting just .211 since being called up from Iowa. He has 9 home runs, though. Little guy with a lot of pop, and 22 RBIs with an OBP of just .261. You really like the way this kid plays. What are you seeing from him at the plate?
I love his pace. I love his tempo. You know, sometimes he just gets off the ball a little bit. He works the count really, really well. I think this kid has a bright, bright future at the big league level. I love his speed. I love the package. Everything that I see is very exciting to me. He does not get rattled when things are bad. He doesn't, you know, again, get too high, get too low. That's the best way to say it. He's got power for days from both sides of the plate. And I'm really excited for this kid's future. He just needs to learn how to avoid those little down cycles. They get a little too long at times. You know, we watched him early, and I'd say for just about every young player, you expect unpredictability when they first get to the big leagues. They're going to give you moments of brilliance where you're like, wow, are we excited for these young players? And then they're going to go through three and four game stretches where they're like, oh boy, they're frustrating the living. I did it myself. You know, they're going to frustrate the living daylights out of you. You just got to figure out how to be consistent, and that's really what it comes down to. You know, just when you start to say, oh, he's making me mad, he gives you that great game where he steals a couple bases, sets up a run, gets himself to third on an infield single by stealing a base and moving up on a wild pitch, and then he hits a home run. This kid's, he's going to be a player. He's going to be a player up at the big league level for quite some time. Just got to find a way to be a little bit more consistent.
All right, time now for our Comcast Business Edge. We look at the numbers Reds rookie Billy Hamilton has put up against the Chicago Cubs. And he definitely has the edge against the Northsiders. He's hitting .371 against Cubs pitching, including 4 doubles, 3 triples, 12 RBIs, and 9 stolen bases. The guy can flat out fly. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business. Will he be NL Rookie of the Year? Will he follow in your footsteps?
He will not. Nope, not this year. It's not Billy Hamilton's year. Sorry to report.
Jacob deGrom?
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, he's having a fantastic second half, 5-1 with a 1.84 ERA. Boy, he's putting up Tom Seaver-type numbers. That's the kind of company he's keeping in the Big Apple. That's right.
You former winners get to vote?
No, not yet. We'll see where that goes. Billy Hamilton, man, listen, this kid's a burner. He's got game. There's no doubt about it. But he's had a rough second half, 216 batting average. And, you know, that really was the concern I think that the Reds had coming in was getting him to be a little bit more consistent. If you remember the story last year when he was called up, they used him strictly as, for the most part, a pinch runner. I mean, again, stealing first was kind of the joke that was thrown around over at MLB a lot. And, you know, he's done a nice job at the beginning of this year getting on base. Really good first half, but he's struggling in the second half. And sometimes it's a little too aggressive. His zone is too big. He chases a lot of bad pitches. He's one of those players that you say, let the ball get deep, let it get all over you, and just beat that ball into the ground because you're so fast, and the big leaguers are not going to throw you out because you got speed for days. But right now he's had his tough second half, and I think deGrom gets it.
All right, here's the Reds lineup for manager Brian Price, their former pitching coach. Billy Hamilton in center. You got Frazier, you got Mesoraco. Those are the guys you talked about as big-time hitters. It's just not the lineup that you expect to see with the Bruces and the Vottos. Just a lot of injuries.
Well, look at that lineup. I mean, how many people are really familiar with what they see outside of Hamilton, Frazier, and Mesoraco? And those are the guys you're going to center around. The rest are young players. You know, Frazier's had a fantastic season. He's taking it to another gear. Now, I think we would all look at Frazier and say, yeah, this guy's a really good player. Does he have another gear there? Yeah, he does. He's definitely done that. He's put it together. But see, that's what the Reds were supposed to be this year. Frazier step up. How about Mesoraco? Boy, he's thrown himself into that National League Central mix of great catchers, you know, with Molina and Russell Martin and Lucroy. Boy, he's right there with him. Offensively, he's better than all of them. He's had a fantastic year. And unfortunately, they're not pairing that with Brandon Phillips and Joey Votto and Jay Bruce and the way the story was supposed to go. They are in the position that the Cubs are in for a lot of reasons, but those are the three biggest ones. A couple of their young players have definitely stepped up, and those are the two for me that really have.
All right, we have less than 2 weeks to go in the regular season. The three division leaders are the Nationals by 10.5 games in the East, Cardinals by 3.5 in the Central, and the Dodgers by 3 games in the West over the Giants. Here's how the wild card race is shaping up. San Francisco holds the top wild card spot, while the Pirates have the second slot. The Brewers a game and a half out. The Braves, who just got swept in Texas, are now 4 games back. How do you see this race shaking out? Does anybody get back in it?
I think the Brewers have a shot at getting back in it because they have head-to-head with Pittsburgh. As well as Pittsburgh has played, the Brewers have played very well against the Pirates this year, and that's really what it's going to come down to. And I believe it might be this weekend, but it's certainly coming up if it's not this weekend. The Brewers have had the number of the Pirates, and if they can make up the ground directly, you know, right there in front of them is the Pirates, as well as they've played, you know, they're just going to have to beat them. That simple. I like the Giants, despite losing 17-0 on Saturday night to the Dodgers after taking Game 1.
I thought that was an NFL game that they played.
It was a bad one. And then losing to Clayton Kershaw last night. Listen, that happens to everybody. He's got 19 of them this year. The Giants have been playing pretty good baseball. I think they're going to get in as well.
All right, as for the American League, the Orioles lead in the East is now 11.5 games. Blowout. Angels 10 up in the West, while the Tigers now hold a game-and-a-half lead over the Royals in the Central. As for the AL wildcard race, the Oakland A's still have the top spot with the Royals in the number 2 slot. The Mariners just a game back of KC, while the Blue Jays, Indians, and Yankees are slowly starting to fade away. How about that race?
Yeah, you're running out of time. I think it's going to be the Oakland A's, maybe, just maybe the Seattle Mariners. Kansas City Royals have a very favorable schedule. Unfortunately, they're not taking advantage of it. That's what's frustrating, I think, Royals fans right now. Boston Red Sox come to town and kick your butt. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen that way.
White Sox come in there tonight.
Right. Well, they got good pitching, and they got a great bullpen. They just, the offense has been their big issue all season long, so they play hard games against everybody.
All right, we have to take another timeout. We come back. Holly's keys to the game. We'll each pick our key performer for tonight's contest. Cubs kicking off final homestand of the season. 3 against the Reds, 4 with the Dodgers, 3 against the Cards. After that, it's a 3-game set in Milwaukee. That will put a wrap on the 2014 season.
Mitsubishi Motors invites you to find your own lane.
If you had touchscreen navigation, a rear-view camera, and a panoramic moonroof, where would you take it? The 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Lease an Outlander Sport now for $199 a month.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long. With no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
The leaves are falling, and so are prices at Four Seasons. Get ready for winter with a new furnace from just $17.95 installed. Furnace and AC combos from just $36.95. And save up to $2,000 in manufacturer and utility rebates. Plus, enjoy 5 years interest-free financing. We'll beat any competitor's price by up to $500. Guaranteed.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
The Constant Contact Toolkit makes it easier than ever to connect with customers using all the best marketing tools, like online promotions and email newsletters, so you can help your small business do more business. Try it free at ConstantContact.com.
If I told you that a free 10-second test could mean less waiting for things like security backups and file downloads, you take that test, right? What are you waiting for? You could literally be done with the test by now. Now you could have done it twice. This is awkward.
Go to ComcastBusiness.com/check-your-speed. If we can't offer faster speeds or save you money, we'll give you $150. Comcast Business. Built for business.
All new. 2 words you seem to hear a lot in this industry. 2 words that we seem to accept without actual proof. But in the case of Chrysler 200, new is actually happening. It's evident in every weld, every stitch, and every line. But the real proof is in the drive. Experience it now at the Chrysler Great American Drive event. Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on 200 Limited for $199 a month, or purchase and get $2,000 total cash allowance.
All right, time for our Fields Auto Group keys to the game. Holly.
All right, early and often, talking a little offensive approach. You know, we watched the Cubs, some of their games that were victorious, certainly on the road trip, and even in some of the losses. The early approach has worked. I know it's a young team, but it typically is. Early fastballs, get ready to swing the bat. It is the key to Simon. As he goes along, he gets better, so maybe you can jump him. Number 2, we're going to talk a little middle innings here. Listen, you know you got to roll this Chapman at the end of the day. The formula for the Reds right now is starter to Chapman, mixing a little LeClure, and that's about it. The rest of that bullpen is just struggling mightily. Over the last 30 days, everybody but those 2 guys has an ERA over 4. So there's a weakness in that bullpen as well. And then listen, the dynamic duo is back. We got Soler, we got Rizzo back on the field together. We're going to celebrate that. Let's see if we can't get some big performances from the 2 teams.
All right, key performers, you get to go.
I'm going to go Welly Castillo tonight.
I'm going to go Jorge Soler. Thank you for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. We will see you after the ball game. We'll be live from Wrigley.
Welcome to the new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Glenview.
It's our Jeep Celebration event and the Chrysler Great American Drive event.
And it's time for you to make your move to this incredible facility.
Our new home is designed to deliver a superior level of customer service.
The customer service has been great. It's easy, it's convenient. They just know how to treat a customer right.
Plus, every Fields vehicle has a special low celebration price.
See Fields first, the all-new Fields Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram at the Glen in Glenview.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Whew. Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
This Cubs Injury Report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
If you had touchscreen navigation, a rear-view camera, and a panoramic moonroof, where would you take it? The 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Lease an Outlander Sport now for $199 a month.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
The Cubs single-A affiliate, the Midwest League champion Kane County Cougars, enjoying big league batting practice today as we get you set for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Reds and Cubs coming up. It's game 1 of a 3-game series. Great to have you with us. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs start a 10-game homestand, final one. They're a game under here at Wrigley Field, and they get 2 guys back in their lineup who hopefully can add some offensive punch.
Hey, Anthony Rizzo out with a bad back for 18 days. The Cubs are 6-12 in those 18 ball games. Nice to have him back. Jorge Soler missed 3 days on paternity leave. Congratulations to Jorge, a new dad. He's done very well at the big league level. 356 with 4 home runs after tearing it up in the minor leagues. Rizzo still second in the league in home runs with 30, and that 889 OPS, good for 4th best in the National League.
So they will go 3-4 in the Cubs order. Struggling left-hander Travis Wood will face his former team. It'll be all-star right-hander Alfredo Simon for the Reds. The Cubs certainly could use the offense, and they get their first baseman and their right fielder back in the lineup. Cubs baseball is next.
This might just look like snow. To us, it's an essential part of the next batch of Coors Banquet. That's because we brew our beer with only pure Rocky Mountain water. Coors, the banquet beer.
Discount Tire wants you to drive safe. Winter tires grip the road better than all-season tires in weather conditions 45 degrees and below. Get a $50 Visa prepaid card on 4 winter tires purchased with your Discount Tire credit card.
Bears fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. And when it comes to trucks, stats don't lie. F-150 with EcoBoost has smash-mouth power with efficiency. And with best-in-class payload, boom, F-150 hauls in the Hail Mary. And here's a stat, pal. F-Series has been America's truck for 37 straight years. And that's a dynasty, baby.
Now during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, get an F-150 with $5,750 cash savings plus $1,000 cash plus $1,500 trade assist.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine.
Now the Reds Reds Southwest starting lineup against former Cincinnati Red Travis Wood, Billy Hamilton in the Rookie of the Year mix. More on that coming up. Christopher Negron is in for Brandon Phillips. Todd Frazier at first with Joey Votto still out. Devin Mesoraco, an all-star, along with Frazier. Yorman Rodriguez in right for Jay Bruce. Jason Bourgeois in left. Ramon Santiago gets to start at third. Jake Elmore in for Zach Cozart at short. And Alfredo Simon, the pitcher.
Key defense for the Cubs this evening. Coghlan, Alcantara. Welcome back Jorge Soler. Same for Rizzo at first base. Watkins is the second baseman tonight. Baez and Valbuena short third. Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Lexus starting pitcher Travis Wood. And here comes pitch number 1.
Away we go. We started right on time tonight as Wood with a strike on Hamilton, the switch hitter. When popped out of the mid of Castillo, it was called a strike. 57 degrees, and it feels cooler than that where we sit because of a north wind at 12. Fall-like.
Time to put the ski cap back on.
Way inside, Hamilton trailing only D. Gordon, whom we will see this weekend when the Dodgers come in. Hamilton with 56 stolen bases. Gordon leads the majors with 61. So you want to keep him off the bags if you can.
He's been caught 22 times, so he's still not a proficient base stealer in terms of the technique, but the raw speed obviously there, and that percentage will probably improve as this Major League Baseball career goes along. He's done a lot of good work against the Cubs this year. 371 in 16 games.
Yeah. Quarter of his RBIs have come against the Cubs as that's fouled out of play.
Yeah, he, like most of the Reds, much better in the first half of the season than post All-Star break. They have really struggled here in the second half. Since 1980, most Reds stolen bases in a season. You see where Hamilton ranks behind Davis, Collins, and Sanders, and a few better than Barry Larkin. Well, tied with Dion with 56.
Another 1-2 and a changeup in the dirt from Travis Wood, coming off the second shortest start of his career, but really it's the shortest. The only one that was shorter was by design to get him to 200 innings at the end of last year. 1 inning at St. Louis in his final start of 2013. 3-2. He got just 5 outs in his last start against the Pirates.
Just one win for Travis since June 15th, but that came against these Reds 3 starts ago. One of his better starts of the year. 6 innings of scoreless baseball.
Good battle here. Yeah, he has only that 1 win in his last 15 starts. 1-7 with a 5.63. Talked to him the other day. Just doesn't feel like there's any particular pitch or mechanical issue. He's just hasn't been executing.
Yeah, well, you know, there's 2 things to contemplate, right? Command, you know, hasn't been quite as sharp stuff-wise. And then the question, you know, I think if you're in Travis Wood's position, you're probably saying, well, man, I'm doing the same thing I did last year. When you look at the breakdown of his pitch usage, it is about the same. So the question is, well, should you maybe doing something a little bit different now? You know, the longer you're in the league, the more hitters get a book on you and the more familiar they become with your stuff. Sometimes you need to change it up a little bit.
So he walks Hamilton. It was a 10-pitch plate appearance for Billy Hamilton, and here's Christopher Negron. A lot of the Reds regulars on the bench tonight. This game does not have much meaning in the standings. Reds are 5.5 ahead of the Cubs for 4th, but neither team will play into October this year.
Game on with Hamilton on first base.
The Reds were in a pretty good spot going into the All-Star break. They were 51-44, just a game and a half out of first place, but they have gone 20-35. here in the second half, and they have been the worst offensive team statistically in baseball since the break.
Yeah, and their pitching was kind of what led the way for them in the first half. The pitching's been pretty good for them this year. Right around middle of the pack in terms of runs scored at the All-Star break, but as Len mentioned, just dismal since.
1-0 on Negron. And you see their numbers, 225 as a team. And a lot of that on the right column without Joey Votto. Brandon Phillips spent some time on the DL. Called strike.
And does Votto even have an at-bat in the second half?
Actually, he doesn't. Yeah, his last game was July 5th. So all of that in the second half without their first baseman. Strike two. It's 1-2. Votto is traveling with the Reds, but we don't know if he's going to be back. And with only 2 weeks to go, time is running out. Strained left quad has had him out quite a while. Back to Wood. They get one, they get two. 1-6-3 on the double play.
Javi Baez doing a nice job making sure he had the base as he caught this ball. Travis turns around and fires the seed over second base. And Baez making sure he hangs on to the bag with that back foot as he makes the catch and throw. Nicely done.
Here's Todd Frazier. Yeah, you feel like if you look at what the Reds have done this year, JD, it's been a wasted season in a lot of ways. They've gotten the best year of Todd Frazier's career, Devin Mesoraco, tonight's starting pitcher Alfredo Simon, and yet they're a fourth place club.
Yeah, well, Jay Bruce has had a really bad year, and you talked about the injuries to Votto and Phillips. So if you're Walt Jocketty and you're thinking about next year, I guess that's what you have to contemplate. Well, how much turnover does this club need, or do we just need to stay healthy next year?
Frazier pops it up on the left side of the infield, and it'll be Baez to make the play. Wind a little tricky today. We go to the bottom of the first. Reds nothing, and the Cubs are coming up.
This is a different kind of airline. One that invented low fares so everyone could fly. One that decides where to go next by putting your needs first. And knows people are its most powerful fuel. Some say we do things differently. We say, why would we do things any other way? Without a heart, it's just a machine.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long. With no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
When you get a Honda Accord, you get more than just a car. You get a soundtrack for your morning commute, a better view of your surroundings, a way to stay connected while staying on track. And you're getting Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for a great price. So start something special at the Accord clearance event, where well-qualified customers can lease a 2014 Accord at $189 a month. Now at your Honda dealer.
If tonight's Cubs leadoff man gets a hit, Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. Cubs have dropped 8 of their last 9, but some additions to their lineup will help, you hope. Their Southwest starting lineup looks like this: Coughlin, Baez, Rizzo back in the lineup for the first time in 19 games, and good numbers for him against the Reds. Soler after missing the weekend. Luis Valbuena at third. Wellington Castillo hitting .400 here in September. Arismendi Alcantara in center. Logan Watkins at second, and the pitcher Travis Wood.
And key defense for the Reds. Some unfamiliar faces out there. This Reds club has committed just 66 errors this year, the fewest in all of Major League Baseball. Bourgeois, Hamilton, Rodriguez left, center, right. Santiago, Elmore, Negron, and Frazier on the infield. Devin Mesoraco does the catching for the Lexus starting pitcher for the Reds. Fettuccine Alfredo Simon, 29 starts, 14 up, 10 down, a .348 earned run average. An all-star. He has not been as sharp since the break. 2-7 with an ERA just below 5 in the second half. He has done some of his best work against the Cubs, though. 3-0 with a .140 earned run average in 4 starts this year against Chicago.
Sinker for a strike on Chris Coghlan. That's the split at 85. Adrian Johnson calling balls and strikes. Mike Everett, Toby Basner, and the crew chief Bill Miller on the bases. Final series of the season between these two teams. The Reds have won 11 of 16 as that ball is rifled the other way for a leadoff hit, benefiting JDRF via Denny's Beverage Depot. Between at times we've actually overswung a little bit at times, and the other point he made was home runs can be really dangerous for young players, particularly at this level. So there's nothing better than hitting a home run in the big leagues, but right now it feels like at times Javi is trying to make up for an 0 for 9 or a 4 strikeout day with an 8-run homer. There's a blast deep to center, and Hamilton will run it down as the wind was pushing right against that ball, and the throw back to first is late.
That ball is supposed to go out of the ballpark.
And not tonight.
In the midst of that conversation.
Not tonight, unfortunately.
I thought he got it, but you're right. Another day, it's gone. And Hamilton, not only great speed, but he has a very strong throwing arm here. He takes a shot at Coghlan at first base.
Yeah, but in talking with Brian and other people who've seen Baez at different levels, nobody is concerned about the long haul. He's young. He's gifted. He's going to figure this out. Good to have Rizzo back. 18 games out of the lineup. He got hurt against the Reds in Cincinnati about 3 weeks ago. Remember, we had a 50-minute rain delay, and during and after that delay, his back tightened up. The Cubs will monitor him closely. Don't want him to push it too hard here with only 2 weeks to go as he foul tips. And it's 1-1. And as you pointed out in the open, it missed 3 weeks basically, but he's still in second in the league in home runs.
Yeah, I guess the home run numbers have been down here, and I don't think Upton's been hitting for a whole lot of power recently. Stan obviously is out. So, you know, nice long homestand here. And as you mentioned in the open, the Cubs a game below 500. I don't think it matters a whole lot going into next year, but I think it'd be a nice, you know, something to hang your hat on to finish playing at least 500 baseball here at home.
And this will not be an easy homestand. And it would be nice to at least take 2 of 3 here, because you've got the NL West leading Dodgers coming for 4, and that series starts with Greinke Thursday night, and Kershaw, Clayton Kershaw, will go for his 20th win on Friday afternoon. Then the Cardinals next week, and they're leading this Central Division. Two. Here it is. Rizzo fouls it right at the plate.
Yeah, you know, you would figure the timing would be off a little bit here for Rizzo early on. It didn't have the benefit of going down and playing, you know, rehab games and seeing live pitching.
Simon 6'6", 265. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He got him. Looked like the hard splitter.
Mm-hmm. It's a 2-4 seam fastball, mid-90s velocity. Split finger, probably his best secondary pitch. He also has a curveball, and he'll cut his fastball as well.
Jorge Soler, new dad, missed the series in Pittsburgh to be with his young son in Miami, and you see the numbers he has put up in just 12 big league games. 16 hits, 5 for doubles, 4 home runs.
At 15 home runs in the minor leagues and 200 at bats, 4 home runs here and 45 at bats, so roughly a home run every 12 plus ABs. It's a tremendous ratio.
Inside on Soler. 2 balls, no strikes. Looking for his first Wrigley Field home run.
Mm.
2-1.
To get another crack at that one. Giancarlo Stanton leads the National League in at-bats per home run, 14.6. Just to give you some context, Chris Carter leads all of baseball, 12.9 at-bats for every home run.
Three and 1 on Soler. By the way, every 7 seconds, Jacob deGrom picks up another strikeout tonight in New York. He has 12, and they're only in the 5th inning. And that's leading the Marlins 2-0. And we will tell you about some history he made to start that game with an interesting connection to our broadcast booth. Strike on the inside corner. It's 3-2. Soler thought it was ball 4.
Soler took a 2-0 fastball right over the heart of the plate. This one is inside. He was right this time. not rewarded for his good approach. Johnson expanding his zone a little bit behind home plate.
And a base hit. Coughlin will stop at second. Couple of singles here in the first inning.
Simon, even though he hasn't been particularly good in the second half of the season, was good last time out against St. Louis. 4-2 winner. He allowed 2 runs in 7 innings.
So the comparison I might make is between Alfredo Simon and the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
While we like the Brewers' chances, not everybody did when the season started. He spent 150 days in first place. Expectations were pretty high. They've gone through a brutal stretch, kind of getting out of it now and trying to grab a playoff spot. In Simon's case, at best, he was going to be their 5th starter. The reason he joined their rotation was because of the injuries to Matt Latos. But then Simon became an all-star. So if you add it all up, the first half and the second half, I think the Reds, if you went back to opening day, what he's given them, they'd probably gladly take.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to expect him maybe to duplicate his first half success here in the second half probably would have been too much to ask.
No, it's one of those, regression to the mean things. He's never been the guy that he was the first half of this year. So you figured he'd come back a little bit. Indeed, he has. But overall, the numbers are good. 14-10 with a 348.
Generally in this game, by the end of 6 straight months of baseball, you are what you are.
You're the guy, right? The old cliche is the numbers on the back of the baseball card don't lie.
For teams and for individuals, that is generally the case, but it's the when you have the highs and the lows that tend to color our judgments.
And that's not to say that guys can't make improvements and don't have outlier seasons where they pitch way above their career norm or play above their career norm.
Hit Valbuena's foot, so it's a foul ball.
The Reds had 5 players make the All-Star team this year. Mesoraco, Frazier, the position players, Simon, Cueto, and Chapman, pitchers. Cueto and Chapman have both been solid throughout. They've had good second halves as well, and they're 2 guys who are considered among the elite players in the league. You would expect them to maintain that pace. For Mesoraco, it's been a breakout year for him. He's had a rough second half, but again, overall the numbers really good.
Three and 2, that'll give the runners a head start. It's Castillo on deck. Best year of Valbuena's major league career. Career highs in games, home runs, RBIs, OPS. There they go. Here it is, and they're loaded. 2 hits and a walk here in the first. Manager Brian Price looks on. Early look at our AT&T UVerse multi-view. Castillo's been the Cubs' best hitter so far this month, hitting .400 in the first 10 games. First pitch swinging and a foul pop-up. Frazier. There's just enough room as the wind tried to push it out of play. Cubs leave him loaded, 0-0 after an inning.
What are you doing? Pull up! We're too low!
I know, but isn't Wisconsin beautiful in the fall? Hiking in the cool, crisp air, so many pretty fall colors.
We're too low, Roger. The trees.
You can call me Kareem if you want.
Kareem? We're too low, Kareem.
Did you know I won my first NBA championship here?
You're out of your mind.
I know. Why did I ever leave this place?
You were young.
Heads. Making an important decision?
Well, I want an SUV that I can take camping.
I want something stylish for girls' night out. Well, the RAV4's got a beautiful design and has extra cargo space. So now all you have to decide is which model. Limited. Shall we?
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2014 RAV4 or lease RAV4 for just $199 a month.
It all starts at Toyota. Let's go places.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch. Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
We are back. Reds, Dodgers, Cardinals in for this homestand. It's the final homestand of the regular season. Don't miss your chance to come out and see a game here at beautiful Wrigley Field. Tickets in a variety of levels are available for all remaining games. To purchase your seats, visit Cubs.com.
So Jacob deGrom, I mentioned a bunch of strikeouts tonight, and in fact the first 8 Marlin batters who came up
2-2 to Mathis.
Struck out. Here's Jeff Mathis, his 8th strikeout victim to begin the game. Then Jared Cozart, the pitcher, picked up a base hit.
Consecutive strikeouts,
and that's important because my partner still holds the modern-day major league record for strikeouts to start a ball game. He struck out the first 8 guys, so he only could tie you 1986 against the Dodgers, correct?
Yep. Yep, we share it. Happy to share it. Congratulations to Jacob deGrom for co-holding perhaps the most hallowed record in the history of our fine sport.
Do you remember what the pitcher did?
They pinch hit for the pitcher.
That's not right.
Larry C. was the pinch hitter, and he popped up to second base.
Okay, so you got him out.
So in tiebreaker
would be you retired the 9th hitter.
And if you notice, he was wearing camouflage, and it's much harder to hit against camouflage than a rainbow uniform.
deGrom tonight has fanned 12 of the 18 hitters he's faced.
Well, if that's the tiebreaker, he wins. Because I think I ended up with 10. I ran out of gas. Yelich, Solano, McGee, Ozuna, Bohr, Echeverria, Valdespin, and then Mathis. That kid's having a heck of a year.
Might be the rookie of the year when it's all said and done. Billy Hamilton had kind of been the #1 candidate due to all the stolen bases.
deGrom 8-6 with a 2.52 ERA. Been really good lately. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that comes down.
Two Mesoraco sends it up in the air, and it's Soler coming on to make the catch. When were you told that night that you had set a record? Right after the game? Did you know?
No, they put it on the scoreboard in the Astrodome. When I got the 7th, they put a message up there that I had tied. And ironically enough, earlier that year, Joe Cowley, I think, got 7. And they put the note up there, and the fans responded. So I peeked up and I read that. And so when I got 8, I knew I broke, or surpassed Cowley. Now, the all-time record, so the one that DeGrom tied tonight, is the modern record. The all-time record belongs to Mickey Welch, the Hall of Famer with the
1884.
Yeah, Cleveland Spiders, I think, or somebody like that.
To Yorman Rodriguez. 22 years old. He made the jump from Double-A to the big leagues. Only his second major league start, and a 1-2 count on him.
Good change up there from Travis Wood. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Maybe he can use these final couple of starts to just play around with his pitch mix a little bit. Use his changeup a little bit more. Break out the curveball some. Essentially treat these starts as spring training. Kind of get a jump on next year. It's not an easy thing to contemplate. I mean, this guy was an all-star last year.
Strike 3 called. First red Wood has fanned tonight. Has been really good against Cincinnati here as of late. Keeping the ball in the ballpark helps. Jason Bourgeois, he's been around a while, parts of 7 seasons with a bunch of different teams. The White Sox, the Brewers, the Astros, the Royals, the Rays, and now the Reds. Spent the season at AAA Louisville. He was named their most valuable player. The Mary E. Barney Most Valuable Player Award, 136 games. He was one of 12 players to spend the entire year with Louisville.
At 600 plate appearances down there at AAA. Good hard-nosed player, speed guy. One of those players that you might refer to as a 4A player, an accomplished AAA player. Just has not had a lot of success or chance to settle in at the big league level.
Strike 3 to end the inning. Back-to-back Ks, both of the looking variety for Travis Wood.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Whew. Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Got to get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
No, I didn't know that.
Wow.
No way.
Are you serious?
I didn't know that.
Sweet.
Hyundai has the best car warranty in America. And more repeat buyers than any other car brand. If you think you know a lot about Hyundai, think again.
Sophisticated.
Reliable.
Sexy. Good on gas.
Affordable. More money in my pocket.
Cha-ching. No-brainer.
Now lease the Santa Fe Sport for $249 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com.
Bruce Rauner in his own words.
I am adamantly against raising the minimum wage, against raising the minimum wage, against raising the minimum wage.
Now billionaire Bruce Rauner was caught saying he wants to eliminate the minimum wage completely. Eliminate the minimum wage? Taking thousands of dollars out of the pockets of hardworking families. Did Bruce Rauner really think no one would find out?
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's the bottom half of the second inning, and we're scoreless. Don't miss out on Big Ten Rivalry Week. Support your Big Ten school and receive a special Cubs t-shirt featuring your school colors. Tomorrow night, Minnesota and Wisconsin duel it out. Oh, man, when those two get together. The Big Ten Rivalry promotion is only available through Cubs.com/special events. Log on, come on out, be part of the Big Ten fun.
Cubs batting in the bottom of the second. 0-0 tie. Sinker for a strike on Arismendi Alcantara, who made his major league debut in Cincinnati against the Reds on July 9th. He went 0 for 4 that night, but the following game 4 for 5 with a double and a triple. I have to follow up on our conversation about your 8 strikeout start against the Dodgers. And I've never really asked you this on or off the air. Ball to second. So we all kind of laugh.
No, I wasn't scuffing the baseball.
No. We all kind of look back now and laugh at the home rainbow jerseys of the Astros that you guys wore in '86 when you won the division. At the time you're wearing them, are you just looking at it going, this is a big league uniform, or were you just, that's what it was in Houston?
Yeah, they had been wearing that funky uniform or some version of it for a little while. But it was kind of ironic that I got traded there from the Yankees. And the most buttoned up, the pinstripe, the most conservative uniform, and maybe all of sports, and down there to the rainbow land. Yeah, when you first put it on, you go, man, this is kind of goofy, and then you just have fun with it.
That's the uniform. Yeah.
The '86 year was the last.
That was the last
year. The full-blown rainbow. The owner's wife, John McMullen's wife, Jackie, was a very classy lady. She just couldn't take it anymore.
1-1 on Logan Watkins. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Cub left-handed hitters are going to get used to, or have to get used to, seeing a lot of splitters in even counts, or even when he's behind in the count.
Back through the middle and a base hit. That splitter was a hanger, and Watkins took advantage. It's a pitch you can get away with maybe earlier in the count, but with 2 strikes, guys are in swing mode.
Yeah, and a lot of times they're in stay back mode too, so they're you don't want to get fooled by that off-speed pitch. You leave it in the zone, you're asking for trouble. So good look at the grip and the release, and just not a whole lot of good stuff going on for Simon with that splitter.
Yeah, you might get that on a first pitch strike, and a guy just takes it, and you may be sitting at home going, man, that was right there. But you're usually looking for 93 from Simon on the first pitch, not 87.
Ooh, where was that one?
Well, it's been a tough year on the mound, but was crunching some numbers today, and we should probably start the Travis Wood Silver Slugger campaign now, because he's leading all major league pitchers in OPS, batting average, and he's tied with Madison Bumgarner with 3 home runs. His job right now is to get down a bunt.
Yeah, but I'd be tempted to let him swing with 1 out already in the inning.
I might say he's a better hitter than a bunter, even though he has 7 sack bunts.
I just think, with 1 out in the inning, so you get his successful sacrifice bunt. It gives you, just 1 out to play with to score that run, and he is such a good hitter. I'd be inclined to turn him loose. Especially now that you've shown bunt a couple times, so you've got it in Simon's mind that he's bunting. You might get a cookie fastball, or you might get one under your chin. His athleticism serves him well in so many ways, and ducking that heater, another example of it.
Up Frazier in foul territory will make the basket grab, 2 outs.
Well, when you look at Alfredo Simon, he looks like a guy who should be easy to run against. Big, tall, right-hander. The numbers tell a different story. And we'll tell that story later.
That's a good tease. As Bourgeois makes a catch and the inning is over. 0-0 after 2.
You might have noticed things are looking pretty good at Southwest. Our dazzling smiles, our incredible good looks, our new ride, and some shiny new nonstops ready for takeoff. You're going to need more reasons to travel because flying new nonstops on Southwest is looking pretty good. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Finish your fall projects the right way with Loctite from Menards. This PL400 subfloor and deck adhesive provides a strong bond that is resistant to water and the weather. Perfect for interior and exterior heavy-duty construction. A 28-ounce contractor-sized tube is $2.99. Looking for strong and durable tape? Gorilla Tape is designed for the toughest jobs on the planet. It has double, thick adhesive and an all-weather shell. 30-yard rolls of white or 35-yard rolls of black tape. Your choice, $6.99 each.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, Bears fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. And when it comes to trucks, stats don't lie. F-150 with EcoBoost has smash-mouth power with efficiency. And with best-in-class payload, boom, F-150 hauls in the Hail Mary. And here's a stat, pal. F-Series has been America's truck for 37 straight years. And that's a dynasty, baby.
Now during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, get an F-150 with $5,750 cash savings plus $1,000 cash plus $1,500 trade assist.
Tomorrow night, the White Sox take on the Kansas City Royals. Royals have a lot to play for. We'll have it for you tomorrow at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Bassett and Hendricks tomorrow, the scheduled starters there. And the White Sox with an early 1-0 lead in the second tonight. Kansas City a game and a half behind Detroit in the AL Central. And second in the wild card, a game ahead of Seattle. I'll tell you, the Blue Jays are not done yet, even though they lost 3 out of 4 to the Rays over the weekend. Toronto is 4 games back of Kansas City, 3 behind Seattle, but they do play the Mariners 4 times. So what the Blue Jays, I think, have to hope for is that the Royals have a bad 2 weeks and then they take care of business and beat up on Seattle. Problem they have is they're down tonight.
Yeah,
5-2
Baltimore.
at Baltimore.
Yeah.
So they'll have to come back
Baltimore,
tonight.
despite their big lead, they're not slowing down at all.
Well, a lot of things can happen over a 2-week period. A good friend in our business has a great line. Anything can happen, but it usually doesn't. I think that's
yeah.
it's a good line
when
for
you're in that
sports.
position, you pin your hopes on the anything can happen part.
Santiago finds some room out there. Soler will get it back in quickly. I'll tell you what, his reputation is getting around the league as Santiago was not going to challenge him.
I think Billy Hatcher just whispered in his ear, good decision. Even though he did not pick it up cleanly initially, Santiago's probably out at second base. Ball's got a little slice spin, so it kicks away, kicked into the wall, then recovered by Soler.
Here's Jake Elmore. 3 different big league teams the last 3 years. Some time in Arizona 2 years ago. Houston last year, and the Reds this season.
Yeah, utility type guy, can play all over the field.
His 86th major league appearance tonight. Two balls and a strike. Simon, the pitcher's on deck. Including tonight, 13 to go for the Cubs. And they have been using a 6-man rotation. Now, Edwin Jackson could possibly be back and make a start. Eric Jokic might get one, so I don't know if Travis has 2, including tonight, more starts, or 3, but it might only be 2. This could be his penultimate start. The same as the case for Jake Arrieta, who will go tomorrow night. He only has 2 left.
And you get to this stage of the season, a lot of times with the veteran pitchers, the manager will ask them, hey, you know, we've got these other arms, we've got these kids here. Do you want to keep going? You know, and I think Ricky probably, if he hasn't had that conversation with Travis, he maybe will have it after this game. You know, say, how do you feel? You want to keep on pushing, or do you want to just shut it down?
Some of it could depend on where the Brewers are in terms of their playoff positioning, whether you would go with a guy making his first major league start, or more of a veteran type over that final weekend. As Elmore walks, and that'll bring up Simon. So 2 on with nobody out.
You know, obviously the Cubs miss Anthony Rizzo's bat, but the other thing, his defensive work at first base, and not to take away from Olton Valleca, who spelled him over there. They're just not first basemen, and Rizzo's, you know, pretty slick around the base, and he's really good defending bunts. So Ricky Renteria happy to have Rizzo not only in the lineup, but back out there at first base doing his thing.
A half-hearted attempt there by Simon, didn't really get the bat head out. Stabbed at that one, 0-2.
You know, I've seen this play defended aggressively by a lot of first basemen, but I can't think of anybody that plays it more daringly than Rizzo. I mean, you know, watch where he starts, and then he's creeping in before the pitch is even delivered. So basically, he's telling, you know, Trav, I got everything. I've got everything covered out here,
including this one, but Simon was able to deaden it enough to get the job done, so it goes 3-4. Never ceases to amaze how a guy can have an at bat like that ends the way it did. After those first 2 pitches, you'd have bet the mortgage he was not going to get it down, and then he laid down a perfect bunt.
Yeah, and it looked like it was easy for him.
Maybe that's why everybody waits until the deadline to make a trade. Got to have 2 strikes on you before you can really get it done.
He's a pressure bunter. He's a clutch bunter.
One ball, no strikes on Hamilton. Second and third, one away, and he hits this one a ton, but he pulled it foul.
So this is the year, this is the time of the year where all the rookie hazing rituals go on around Major League Baseball. With September call-ups, there's more guys to humiliate, and so the veterans will steal their clothes and replace their regular clothes with different outfits. That's Billy Hamilton. That's the man batting right now. He's My Little Pony, I guess. Not sure what was going on behind him there.
I don't know if I want to know. Outside, 2-1.
Who is that back there? Can't tell who that is. Nor can I tell what he's supposed to be.
Hat's too small. About 8 sizes. Cornermen in, back up the middle. Second and third, one away here in the third inning. Similar to his first at bat. Ended up no at bat. A 10-pitch walk to start the game.
Kind of funky swing there. Feet moving all over the box. A little emergency hack. It looked like he was looking in. He starts to open up that front hip. Expecting maybe a cutter in. And then a defensive swing on a pitch that was actually out of the strike zone.
Did he not take what you dubbed the ugliest swing in baseball history earlier this year?
Yeah. I don't know if we have that one archived.
It was from the left side. Yeah.
And I don't think I would get any argument from him. I mean, it was just a funny. Real defensive late swing. It was kind of a chop. He chopped it and he had both feet in the air at the same time.
Chased a bad one this time. Castillo could not waste any time throwing it to first. So big strikeout for Wood, 2 down, and here comes Negron. For a ball. 41st game this year for Negron. He's made starts at second and third. He's played a little left and a little short as well.
Yeah, and that's the nature of their lineup tonight. They got a number of guys that fit that description. Guys that can play all over the field. Santiago Bourgeois, who's in left field, can play the infield. Elmore, utility type player.
Cutter inside, and it's 2-1.
That looks like a spring training lineup. Hamilton, Frazier, Mesoraco, the only regulars in the lineup tonight for the Reds.
High fly ball. And it'll be Soler to get it on the warning track. Again, wind blowing out. That one might get on out, but not tonight. So Wood works around the walk and the hit.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long, with no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Remember the invite? Remember to make reservations?
Absolutely.
Remember the tickets? Remember where we parked?
Absolutely. Generously appointed Lexus ES and ES Hybrid with leading-edge connectivity. Unforgettable. Lease the 2014 ES 350 for $349 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Sweet, spicy, savory. Enjoy it all, because Red Lobster's one and only endless shrimp is now. Endless choices, endless variety. Kick it up with our spicy new wood-grilled sriracha shrimp. And it's back, Parmesan crusted shrimp scampi. The year's largest variety of shrimp flavors. So many to explore. As much as you like, any way you like, endless shrimp is here. But not for long, so hurry in and see food differently.
Tuesdays, join me, Pat Boyle, at number 55 for the Lance Briggs Show. Get closer to the game than ever before as Lance takes you through the Bears playbook and breaks down what to expect each week. The Lance Briggs Show, presented by GWC Law, Tuesday at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Hey, time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag NorthsideFanPhoto for a chance to have it appear in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Reds threatened, but could not dent the scoreboard. Still 0-0 as we hit the home half of the third. Strike to Baez. His old Double-A hitting coach Desi Wilson was with the club last week, and they watched some old video together, and Avi said he noticed he had been taking his hands back too far as he kind of loads up. Chased a bad one there. Actually, it was a good pitch for Simon on an 0-2, but well out of the strike zone. He gets his second punch out tonight.
And stayed away. A couple pitches on the outside part of the plate. Then the breaking ball down and away. That's a chase pitch for Baez. That one and the one about shoulder high. That high fastball he'll chase as well.
So a developing story. MLB has just announced Jonathan Papelbon gets a 7-game suspension. He's also been fined for his actions yesterday, and he will begin serving that suspension tonight. If you missed it, he made what appeared to be an obscene gesture toward the fans in Philadelphia as he was walking off the mound. Joe West, the crew chief, saw it, went over to the Phillies dugout and ejected Papelbon, who then came out of the dugout almost like George Brett did during the Pine Tar incident, and he and West came together, and Joe actually grabbed his jersey. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Papelbon very aggressive, and you know, Joe West isn't going to back down.
Papelbon was claiming he was making an adjustment as Rizzo strikes out. So 2 away. Here it was yesterday, and it was a rough one for Papelbon. And I think the fans were letting him hear about it in Philadelphia, as they are known to do.
Yeah, they've become a bit mellower, you know, since leaving the vet, but still a hostile situation. And see, get a little glimpse there of the gesture. And Joe West said, "You're gone."
Done. Strike called on Soler. But you see, he kind of...
Yeah, Joe's trying to go back to his position, and Papelbon hasn't had enough, so Joe just kind of grabs a hold and shows him aside. There may be some culpability there on Joe's part too. He probably should have kept his hands off of Papelbon. I can understand why he did in the heat of the moment. Wouldn't have been a bad idea for somebody else to get out there and get in the middle of that. Hey, what do we got going on there? I've been trying to invent a new pitch.
Did that even register?
62.
62.
I'm not sure what, if he's just trying to throw a little folly floater up there. Or...
And 2-1. That swing. I think Soler thought the ball was going toward left field. Instead it was a roller to first, and that ends the inning. 3 in the books. Reds nothing and Cubs nothing.
T-Mobile's the first national network to give you Wi-Fi calling. Now every Wi-Fi connection works like a T-Mobile tower. It's Wi-Fi unleashed.
This might just look like snow. To us, it's an essential part of the next batch of Coors Banquet. That's because we brew our beer with only pure Rocky Mountain water. Coors, the banquet beer.
It's back, but not for long. Olive Garden's Buy One, Take One, starting at just $12.99. Choose from a variety of entrees to enjoy today, like new creamy citrus chicken, and take home a second entree free. Buy One, Take One, starting at just $12.99 at Olive Garden.
It's a new NFL football season, and the highlights start here with the game-changing GMC Acadia. With an advanced seating system and easy access third row, get into the game at GMC's kickoff event. Kick off the season right and lease this 2014 GMC Acadia with an EPA estimated 24 highway MPG for around $299 per month. Only from GMC, the official vehicle of the NFL.
Season after season, one network captures the most exhilarating moments in Chicago sports. Comcast Sportsnet. We understand your passion, and we're as obsessed as you are. This is Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back. Top of the fourth, we are scoreless, paging all healthcare professionals. The Cubs and their fans look to give thanks for the outstanding patient care provided by the Chicago healthcare community. Join us this Thursday night. Cubs take on the Dodgers. First pitch 7:05. Purchase your tickets through the special events page to redeem an exclusive Cubs Scrub Top. Tickets are only available through Cubs.com/special events.
Also a reminder, if you want to come out this weekend, Clayton Kershaw will go for the Dodgers Friday afternoon. There are still tickets available. That one stung as Frazier hit it foul.
Get over first pitch curveball. Had him out in front. It does seem to me like Travis is mixing in a more soft stuff tonight. A few more changeups, occasional slow curve.
In the air, shallow right. Soler is under it, makes the play. Bob Nightingale just tweeted, the Phillies showed their angst with Papelbon by announcing they agreed with the immediate 7-game suspension and apologized to fans. Yeah, that's a tricky one because, well, you want to support your player. You got to be real careful when what happened yesterday happens. You can't.
Right.
You can't say.
Yeah.
The fans are ever wrong on that. on that one, you can't condone what he did.
Right, and Papelbon has come out publicly and saying I was just adjusting my equipment. It was not a rude gesture. So there's been no remorse on his part.
Strike on Devin Mesoraco. Ground ball to second. Watkins from the other side of the bag, as they had 3 infielders over there.
Well, so far so good tonight for Travis Wood. He's allowed just 1 hit. 6 shutout against the Reds the last time he faced them on 2 hits.
So the Cubs this week will have to face, I mentioned Greinke and Kershaw this weekend, but Johnny Cueto tomorrow. What a matchup we've got tomorrow night. Cueto and Arrieta. 18-8 with a .215 versus 8-5 with a .282. Whipped into left. Rodriguez is aboard.
There's a bit of a hanger. Yeah, so you probably set the over/under tomorrow night on about 5 runs in that ball game. Cueto, an all-star, having an outstanding year.
Look at the innings.
Posting great numbers as well.
222 innings already for Cueto. So he should get, including tomorrow night, 3 shots at getting 2 wins to get to 20.
Yeah, and we are of the wins are overrated as a statistic. We're in that camp, but still, that's a magic number. A 20-win season.
Two and 0. If you're curious, the Reds are not officially eliminated from either of the playoff races, but their elimination number in the division is 1. That is a combination of Reds losses and Cardinal wins. So you would think over 2 weeks the Reds would lose at least 1. And the Cardinals would win at least 1, so that's probably not going to happen. And their elimination number in the National League wild card, they're 8.5 out, is 5. So that probably will go by the boards for them later on this week as Bourgeois takes the walk. All this happening after 2 outs. 3rd walk for Wood. Famous last words, right? The Cincinnati Reds have won the division. No, I don't see that one happening. Ball strike.
Well, epic comebacks need epic collapses from other teams, and in the case of the Reds, they would need it from multiple teams, and the likelihood of that happening is 0.0007.
Line right to Watkins, and that will end the inning. 2-out single and a walk, but they strand a couple. We are still scoreless in the 4th.
always found you don't know you need a hotel room until you're sure you do.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Which is what makes using the Hotels.com mobile app so useful. I can book a nearby hotel room from wherever I am. Or I could not book a hotel room and put my cell phone back into my pocket as if nothing happened. Hotels.com. I don't need it right now.
Are you looking for a great deal on a brand new Kia? Get to Schaumburg Kia so you won't miss the boat.
This month, the deals are jumping. Drive a brand new 2014 Kia Optima LX for only $169 a month. That's right, only $169 a month.
We'll top any deal on a new Kia.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman, Schaumburg Kia, just west of the Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road, Schaumburg.
Welcome back. There's Joe Gray. Joe served with the U.S. Navy and was deployed to the Persian Gulf aboard the USS Gunston Hall. He then transferred to the U.S. Navy Seabees and was deployed to Iraq, where he was assigned to a tactical movement team that provided security for over 150 high-risk convoys. So a warm welcome to Joe Gray.
Luis Valbuena leading off the Cubs fourth. Two-seamer outside. A lot of run on that pitch from Alfredo Simon. Call him Big Pasta.
Love that nickname.
Foul tipped into the glove. It's 1-1.
Big fettuccine just doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well as Big Pasta.
Well, let's see. This is the final homestand. A few highlights coming up. Charles Barkley will throw out the first pitch tomorrow night. Joakim Noah on Wednesday handle the first pitch duties.
Maybe we can get a split screen of Billy Hamilton's swing from earlier this year and Charles Barkley's golf swing.
Larry King, hello. Will throw out the first pitch on Friday. Long run Bourgeois. And he makes a terrific catch right behind the Cubs bullpen mound. I didn't think he was going to get it.
And takes a look down to assess the situation, where the bullpen mound is, where the wall is. Realizes he's got a little room to operate. Nice backhanded play by the veteran Bourgeois.
Final home game of the season is a week from Wednesday. It'll be against the Cardinals, and the Wrigley Field grounds crew will lead the stretch, as they always do for the last home game. Two strikes on Castillo. Simon signed with the Phillies back in 2009 in the Dominican Republic. From Santiago.
A keen eye displayed by Castillo. That was awfully close.
Here's a pitch. Splitter low. 2-2. Alcantara next. Long look at his catcher. Now he's ready. Hands at the belt. Good leg kick. Bouncer to the third baseman, Santiago. Ramon makes the play. Nationals leading at Atlanta 3-0. Braves would fall to 500 if they don't come back late.
Yeah, a lost weekend for them in Arlington. They were swept by the Rangers. Been the worst team in baseball this year, and their playoff hopes really took a big hit. They're 4 games back in the wild card now. They've got to leapfrog a couple of clubs to get there.
Yep. John Danks handcuffing the Royals so far. They're in the bottom of the 4th. White Sox 3, Royals nothing. Tigers 5-0 at Minnesota in the 5th.
Well, I would greenlight Alcantara here.
Okay.
He's taking it all the way. 2 outs, nobody on. He's got extra base power. Down near the bottom of the batting order.
3-2.
Continues to surprise with his power. I was watching his BP today, and just nice easy pass at it, and he was going deep the other way, hitting balls, batting left-handed, hitting balls into the left field bleachers.
On the ground toward right, and it kicks over the glove. It looked like of Negron, who had left his feet. So 2-out base hit for Alcantara, and it'll bring up Watkins.
Sharply hit. It hops right over the leather. 2-out knock. This would be a good time to try to steal a base. Anyway, some time ago, I was talking about Simon being the big right-hander that should be easy to run on. He's been pretty tough on the running game. There's been 14 steals, but 7 caught with him on the mound. Not a great success rate.
Watkins fouls off to the left to the seats.
I mean, not to the point where you go, man, we can't run on this guy. And I think the situation would dictate that it'd be worth trying to steal a bag here. Mesoraco, the catcher, has thrown out 24%, which is a little bit below league average. Contra's got 8 steals. He's been caught 4 times.
Quick throw to first. And a hop. Frazier able to snag it, but Alcantara back. 1-2. Watkins singled in the second. Came in 1 for his last 17.
Go.
He does go.
Got him.
And he's out. To end the inning, as Zarraco gets Alcantara. Scoreless at the end of 4.
This is a different kind of airline. One that invented low fares so everyone could fly. One that decides where to go next by putting your needs first. And knows people are its most powerful fuel. Some say we do things differently. We say, why would we do things any other way? Without a heart, it's just a machine.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Whew. Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Got to get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
It's here, Ford's Great American Tailgate Event, featuring America's best-selling brand. Introducing Ford Edge, Explorer, Escape, and the 2015 Ford Expedition, all powered by EcoBoost technology. Hurry in to Ford's Great American Tailgate Event. Now save on most Ford SUVs and crossovers with 0% financing for 72 months and pay no interest for 6 years.
Follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. A lot going on. Jed Hoyer, Cubs general manager, met the media before the game today. Chris Bryant, the Cubs minor league player of the year, and he will be at the ballpark coming up.
Yeah, really difficult decision.
Did you tweet Chris Bryant is coming to Wrigley Field just for fun to stir everybody up?
They're finally calling him up to get the minor league player of the year award, which I guess when Baseball America and USA Today give you the national honor, I think it was a pretty obvious choice. And so basically we'll get to ask him, are you going to make the opening day roster, and kind of go through the story all over again on Wednesday.
So congrats to Bryant and right-hander Jen Ho Tseng, the pitcher of the year in the organization. He and his Kane County teammates able to celebrate a Midwest League championship as Jake Elmore hits one foul and out of play. Been reading about possibly the Cubs making some minor league affiliate changes, which happens a fair amount around baseball, but we'll wait to see how that shakes out. Bouncer foul. And Rizzo back. The Cubs are going to monitor him pretty closely here with the back issue, and obviously cool temperatures this week, but so far so good tonight.
Yeah, I think it's important, for him to come back. He wanted to, make sure he's going to be okay for his off-season training, but we get to see him and Soler in the same lineup finally. I think it's important, even though he's not necessarily chasing numbers, and obviously he answered all the questions that he was kind of facing heading into this season. But I think it's good for him to work with these guys, and this is a guy that they're counting on to be a leader next year. I think it's great for him to kind of be back here in September.
All strike 3. So Elmore is out. Usually about every other day I ask Starlin how he's doing, and he really wants to get back. And I mean, at the very least, he'd even, I think, take a pinch hit appearance, but just he wants to find a way back on the field before the season ends too.
Yeah, I think he showed that when he didn't want to come out of the game, when he slid awkwardly into home plate there. And I think he's going to keep pushing. I think the Cubs are going to be extremely cautious with him. They know how he's wired. They know he's not going to that he wants to be in there. But at this point, it's going to be really hard, to see how he gets back in there as much as he keeps pounding the table, wanting to get back in there.
2 strikes on Simon. Patrick, what's your feeling from people you talk to about how the Cubs might look at either free agent pitchers or a position player or two this upcoming offseason? You look at their payroll. That ball is going to be fair, and Valbuena will get Simon 2 outs. They should have some money to spend.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, I think people around the game know that. I think you're going to see them. They're going to be in on almost everyone. They're going to keep kicking the tires, and that's kind of how they operate anyways. But I think, whether it's John Lester, I think they're going to target him. And then obviously that doesn't mean they sign him, but they're going to go after him. And I do think they're going to get some position players. Jed was talking about this earlier. They need, and JD, you can explain this, they need guys that are kind of established clubhouse guys that kind of know the ropes and can kind of teach some of these young guys, because it's really not fair to Rizzo and Castro to kind of be the guys that are leaned on constantly.
Yeah, it's nice to have guys with credibility that have been in the game for a number of years. And there's plenty of guys that have been in the game for a number of years that aren't that guy. Just because you've been in the game for a number of years, doesn't mean you're the right person to have in the clubhouse. So, that's where you do your due diligence. But yes, a couple veteran guys like that would be a good fit on this club.
Good stuff. And read more at CSNChicago.com. Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, scoreless in the 5th.
What are you doing? Pull up! We're too low!
I know, but isn't Wisconsin beautiful in the fall? Hiking in the cool, crisp air, so many pretty fall colors.
We're too low, Roger. The trees.
You can call me Kareem if you want.
Kareem? We're too low, Kareem.
Did you know I won my first NBA championship here?
You're out of your mind.
I know. Why did I ever leave this place?
You were young.
Enjoy premium taste with Chili's Top Shelf Enchiladas. Check out our jalapeno barbecue chicken or beef short rib enchiladas. Handmade with fresh premium ingredients like house-made corn and black bean salsa. Chili's Top Shelf Enchiladas. More life happens here.
Hi, everybody. It's Pat Hughes from Binny's Beverage Depot. What an amazing starting lineup. I'm looking out at over 3,000 spirits, and the prices, they are the guaranteed lowest on every bottle every day. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
It's a new NFL football season, and the highlights start here with the game-changing GMC Acadia. With an advanced seating system and easy access 3rd row. Get into the game at GMC's kickoff event. Kick off the season right and lease this 2014 GMC Acadia with an EPA estimated 24 highway MPG for around $299 per month. Only from GMC, the official vehicle of the NFL.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Coors Light Cold Hard Facts Sportsnet Central update. Minnesota Vikings said today Adrian Peterson will fully participate in this week's practices and is expected to start and play Sunday.